You're listening to the BNI Effect, the podcast for Brisbane entrepreneurs who believe in givers gain. I'm Tony Meredith, and ordinarily I'm a business coach who specialises in sales and leadership, but today I'm your host and fellow BNI member. In this episode, I chat with another Brisbane BNI member to discuss their biggest wins, biggest lessons, and how you can get the most out of your BNI membership. This is episode number 122, and today's guest is Edward Chin from CZM Finance. G'day, Edward.
Hey Tony, thanks for having me.
Mate, thank you for being here. Let's kick it off with a BNI story. What's your best referral that you've either given or received through BNI?
Um, I'll start with receive because that probably stands to mind. It was actually through the financial planner in the chapter at the time. He actually introduced me to a business advisor in Sydney, who then connected me to a fund manager in Melbourne. So through that, there was a whole network and series of referrals that followed, which probably worked out to be, I don't know, I'd say over 300 grand in closed business.
Amazing.
So obviously it wasn't all done in one go. It was, progressive over, I'd say around 18, 24 months. So nothing ever stood out in a lot, but it was a series of multiple referrals through that little network. Initially just through an introduction from the financial planner.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
I love the fact also that it's Australia-wide. So that's one of the great things. So even though we're on the Brisbane podcast, speaking to Brisbane members, you're dealing with people in Sydney and in Melbourne, and across Australia there is something like 7,000 BNI members. Globally, there's 350,000, but in Australia there's 7,000 BNI members.
Correct. So it is really good. And then not only that, through that, I've met some, brokers in different industries in Asia that I've been able to connect with. Not so much doing work together, but just being able to compare notes, how we do things in Australia, how it differs in Hong Kong, Taiwan. I met a group of people at the global conference last year, so a lot of benefit there. And then best referral I've given. That's actually a challenging one, to be honest. In terms of closed business or relationships, there's a lot of BNI referrals that I actually wouldn't get the statistic for when I log them, but it's through you going out networking, meeting people. You start connecting BNI members that are also BNI members, and you let them do their own referrals. And I know through those introductions via myself that there are several referral partners that continue to do a lot of work together. I don't think I can actually put a tangible value there. So,
That's okay. When did you first discover BNI, Edward?
when I first started being a finance broker, so it was, early 2015. Entered the industry, met my mentor at the time, and he said, one of the really good things to get out there as a finance broker is go out and do BNI, get some networking in. And at the time, it was probably what I found is every BNI would have a mortgage broker, a financial planner, and a real estate agent. Pretty much everyone that is commission based. They're out trying to network, trying to build their own professional network to service clients together and obviously ultimately get more business. And I say, no one joins BNI saying, oh, I want to make more friends. Often it's, hey, it's a commercial business decision. It's all the secondary stuff that comes. You eventually build good relationships, then you become friends and do a lot of casual things. I didn't join it immediately after finding BNI. At the time, I was brand new to broking. I don't have a massive network in Brisbane. I'm originally from Darwin. So in Brisbane, not well established, not like I've grown up and did a lot of things here. They said you have to bring one referral a week. You have to bring one visitor a month and, all the KPIs that keep you in the green. And in my head, I said, I can't give a referral a week if I was barely seeing a client a month. So it didn't fit my business in that startup phase. I joined it, I think it was around 2019. So I'd been in business for about 4-ish years thereabouts then. And I was able to join a chapter and then still in that chapter today, just going, look, I can see how the referrals work. Even if I'm not using the services, so many of my clients can use their services, like other members in the chapter service.
So in 2019, when you discovered the chapter that you referred to, what was it about that chapter meeting that encouraged you to apply at that time?
Um, this is probably not a good case study. Um,
We'll edit it
it,
out.
it It's on a Friday morning. So when I first went, we're one of the BNI chapters that don't do breakfast. So when we do the meeting, we run the meeting as a professional meeting. Everyone pays attention, takes notes. We went when the meeting finished, we then went to do breakfast. So, most of the meeting finishes around 8:30. We make our way to a local cafe. We dawdle around till about, there's a bit of afterward networking. We probably make our way down and hit the cafe around 9 to 9:15. We start having breakfast. Really enjoyed that casual environment. They say, look, BNI is where the structured meeting happens. This is where we catch up on a bit more of a social level. We get to know each other. Essentially, a lot of members do their one-to-ones at that cafe for breakfast as well. We did it more as a group. Following that, this was one of my first visits. We finished breakfast around, let's say, 10:30. The food all comes out serving 30-odd people. Okay, let's head to the office. A couple of the members goes, hey, you're going to join us at the pub for lunch. And I just looked at my watch and I said, I have no idea how you guys do any work on a Friday then. And they said, Friday's just BD day. So Friday's where we do all our networking. So through that, surprisingly, the pub lunches, while we're at the lunch, just drinking casually and winding down, it became like a lot of people opened up with a lot of different issues. And you could see how the referrals really came to life there, because they're like, oh, if you're having this issue, did you talk to blah, blah, blah from our chapter? And sometimes you're so close to the problem, you haven't even taken a step back, and they're just like, oh, yeah, I should do that. They would make the call at the pub, call that expert from, our chapter, and then go, okay, yeah, we've got work for them on Monday. So let's talk Monday to get the details. So through that, I just saw how effective BNI worked. It was formal, structured meeting, then it became casual relationships, but through there, still a very professional, casual relationship.
What do you do consistently that brings you results?
I think it's always just keeping your ear out. There's always somebody bragging, complaining, and through that, you can usually say, oh, you should talk to XYZ. We're in a BNI together and they've delivered good results for my clients in the past and referrals in the past. That's how I guess the referrals kind of keep flowing. Ones that, let's say, provide a one-time service like a mechanic or a bookkeeper, those ones quote unquote engage every month. At any point, there's no locking contract. They can actually leave, but knowing that client is constantly getting looked after by a professional in a chapter that I see every week, the moment service levels kind of drop off, or the client is having concerns about what it is, I can actually address it to that professional and say, hey, look, spoke to our mutual client, they're having concerns about this, maybe they're not comfortable voicing it, but this is one of the hurdles that we can help keep those referral going for starters, but actually service the client better. So it's just that factor of care within BNI, the chapter and all their members that really continue to drive the BNI results.
And what mistakes do you see members make that holds them back from achieving what they want in BNI?
It's very often the sense of entitlement, I would say. They come in, they pay their membership, they were accepted by membership committee, and they think in their area of expertise, all those referrals should come to me. Everyone in the chapter should be referring that type of work to me. That's often the biggest mistake I see. And then when they don't actually put in the time or effort, 6-12 months, they leave the chapter because they go, we did it. It wasn't really for us. And I've been on the membership committee roles, and it's more so educating that person. You say you're not getting results, but what have you done? How have you contributed chapter? Who have you caught up with? And quite often, they haven't even done one-to-ones, and, they haven't done the metrics that BNI, the system, has done to give them proven success. So that's probably the biggest mistake.
Can you give us a brief overview of your business and the services you provide, Edward?
Yeah, so we're a commercial finance practice. So through the network, there's not too many that specialize in commercial. We really look at ourselves, and the easy way to describe it is we're third-party business bankers. So you've got the mortgage brokers that do the third-party home loans distribution channel. We do the business services. So we do all the business loans, commercial lending. We do merchant facilities, foreign exchange. So it's more of a holistic service to service those small to medium businesses that, the business banking division is like a revolving door in the bank.
Where did the name CZM come from?
Um, I had it established a while ago. Um, Previously, I was running under like a licensee group that when I first joined BNI, it was through BNI that I had to create, I guess, a division of commercial lending that didn't use Australian licenses through the international connections, through the fund manager in Melbourne that I mentioned was introduced via the BNI channel. Um, so from there, it became I just used the initials of my Chinese name because I was like, this is just something for international purposes anyway. When I ultimately decided to relaunch, I had the name, the branding, the logo all there, and then I just said, okay, we'll now move into being called CZM Finance.
Okay. What makes your business different?
That's a hard one. That's probably the hardest question you've proposed. In all honesty, I just say we're pretty down to earth. Like my team and I, we just focus on getting that results for the client. If the result is not now, we're giving the advice and guidance to get them to where they need to be. And it may not always be via loan channels. We just say, look, you're not eligible for a loan now to get what you want, but get your business or, position to this stage. That's when we can have a look. And often that advice, giving that guidance, I would have clients I would have had a conversation with and then them re-engage in me in like 3 to 5 years time. And I roughly remember the conversation, but we've never even collected IDs or privacy or documentation for that. It was just giving that advice, giving the guidance and say, look, you're not in a position right now of what you've told me, but let's have a chat down the line when, your business may be more established or you've got a bit of a client base and actually have a business and it's not just a hobby. So yeah, just that factor of care, I guess.
Who's an ideal referral for you right now?
Idea referral. We typically service businesses with 1 to 20 million turnover. Anyone that is above 10 mil turnover in the manufacturing, run allied health practices, business owners that run these and decision makers are always, I guess, most of when you're B2B business, they're often the ideal referrals. So.
So, for the listeners and viewers out there, if you know of any businesses like that Ed would just describe, then please reach out to him or his team for a referral. Ed, we're going to play a word association game now, mate. I'm going to say a word and I'm looking for an immediate response from you. The first word is networking.
BNI,
Referrals,
business,
success,
professional network,
coffee,
catch up,
givers gain,
uh, genuine care to help,
sport,
rugby, NRL.
a team,
Uh, that's it. That's kind of stumped me. Many hands make light work.
I like it. And lastly, BNI.
Uh, Friendly professional network.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone who wants to grow their business through networking, specifically BNI networking, what would that advice be, Edward?
Um, Join a BNI group that you actually fit in and gel with. I know a lot of market review is BNI is very clicky, and I always liken it to you're the new kid in school. Everyone has their friendship groups. When you go join a BNI, that even if you're not the friendship groups are already established, you want to find the friends that you want to be around with, because when you enjoy networking with these, the business comes naturally and it doesn't feel like work. It feels like you're just hanging out with a bunch of friends that all run their own businesses as well.
What's one exciting thing that's happening in your business right now that you'd like the viewers or listeners to know about?
Um, We're currently implementing a lot of AI into our business and just ensuring that it is all compliant and making sure the security's right. The massive is probably I'm also using these systems to try to scale the brokerage.
How can listeners learn more about your business or get in touch with you, Edward?
I guess all the listeners are BNI members, right? So feel free to shoot me an email, catch up 1 to 1. If it's not in Brisbane, happy to do a Zoom catch up, which, I've caught up with many other BNI members from Sydney and Melbourne as well.
Amazing. Thanks, Edward. Look, that wraps up this episode of the BNI Effect. Many thanks to today's guest, Edward Chin, for sharing his thoughts and his advice with us and showing us what's possible in BNI. If you're a member, perhaps there's an idea that Edward shared that you could implement over the next week. And if you're a visitor to BNI, I hope you've seen how powerful this network really can be. Subscribe to hear or view more real stories from Brisbane BNI members. And until next time, give more, trust more, grow more.